What is up, guys? This is Megalodon302 here with a map review of a new game type that a friend of mine made. This is Five Nights at Freddy's. Yes, you heard right, Five Nights at Freddy's. It is the famous indie horror game that has been going around on Steam, made by Scott Cawthon. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, the amazing horror game that has been popular has finally made its way to Halo Reach. How is that possible? Well, I'm here to show you. So over here, as you can see, we are in Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Five Nights at Freddy's, it's basically a horror game about animatronic animals, essentially, part of like a pizzeria that's similar to Chuck E. Cheese, which most of you probably know about. Well, yeah, basically it's a whole recreation of the, of Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria, and I have to say, it is pretty well done. I mean, they've really done a good job. Now, the exact creator, I can't really say his, name properly, but it's, XX Ghost something. First of all, if you're watching this video, pretty awesome job, man. You've really done well in recreating this horror game type. Now, some of you may be asking, is the horror game, is it Infection, or is it something else? Well, it's actually a modded game type. Now, of course, some of you are familiar with the mods made by Trusty Snooze. This is basically one of those mods. It kind of works like any other mod you might know of, but of course it's like sort of complicated, like more like that. Of course, how it works is that there's two teams. You got a blue and red team, and the blues are basically the animatronics. There can only be four, however. Mainly because there's four within the game itself. But yeah, so basically, the game maker made it in which you have so yeah, like all the reds are the security guards, and then the blues are basically the animatronics, and the animatronics, they made them elites, so it kind of matches the idea. And then of course the security guards are humans. Now, you can pretty much play up to 16 players as long as there's at least 4 or 3. Like basically, you can choose how many animatronics you want, either 4 or 3 or 2 or even 1. It works either way, and it doesn't matter like how many people you have on each side. Now, of course, to make it a bit like Infection, the game creator made it in which that the elites, technically, so blue side, the animatronics, when they spawn, as you might see like throughout the map here, as they spawn, you get to see this sort of kind of like this sort of kind of closet, kind of like from, if you remember, there was like a costume room, and then there was of course, like all those heads and stuff like that. Well, in this, they kind of made a similar thing to the costume room, except it's just pretty much the spawn room. And you got these 4 active camos there. So basically, 4 animatronics. So yeah, you get the whole deal. But when you pick up the active camos as the animatronics in this case, you get certain traits. You basically are invincible, you get the active camouflage, but also you get to turn the color brown, like Freddy. Now, the game maker, I bet he was trying to originally make it in which you would turn into different colors, but of course, you can, he made it could only be in which all of them are brown. Now, of course, even though this, it would have been cool to have them separate colors, well, you're only limited to a certain amount of things. Now, of course, the goal of the animatronics is to kill the security guards, which, as we all know, the security guards start out in the security room. Now, there are 2 ways that the security guards can, like, basically defend themselves. They have to either try to hide and run throughout the pizzeria, which I don't recommend because unless if you want to die instantly, or what you could do is that you can use these crates over here that can be used to block up the entrances to prevent the creatures from getting in. Now, it won't last for long, kind of like how the game works in terms of running out of power. Basically, they despawn, or they can break in, which is kind of bad for those who are for the security guards. That is. Now, in terms of exactly how this will be related to Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, the timer is actually put to 6, which because in the game you have to last until 6 a.m. But in here you just pretty much have to last for 6 minutes without being killed. Now that becomes harder because depending on how many animatronic characters, so if there's 4 and then there's plenty of other players, that can be harder because that means more people to come search and kill you. Now, of course, but that doesn't mean that you still can't survive. You still have the chance. Even though this game basically no matter how it ends, either if the animatronics kill everyone or the security guards manage to live to 6, it's going to end no matter what. But however, basically, if you want to play the game constantly, even though it lacks rounds and stuff, you can still play the game over and over again and take turns playing the game. So there's going to be some footage coming up for some gameplay on the Five Nights at Freddy's game type in action. And one of the cool added things that they added here, and I kind of forgot to mention this, is that some of these spawn areas that you might see in the Forge are actually where clones go. Because there's actually, to make it a sort of paranoia type deal, they made it in which there are clones everywhere to make it look like animatronic costumes and stuff. Now, the animatronics, the blue team basically, can use this as camouflage. Just to basically screw with the heads of the with the security guards in case if there are any running around. But also the security guards can use this in case if they want to hide behind them to basically, yeah, another form of camouflage for both sides. However, the big thing about this map is that it actually, even though right now you see it's perfectly clear, so you would think, why would it be so scary? Well, that's the thing. This is actually the daytime version of Five Nights at Freddy's. The original version is completely pitch black. Like, it's really hard to see. So, kind of like how the power goes off in Five Nights at Freddy's, it's made to be exactly like that. So, therefore, the game is even made more terrifying with that. It's a really fun game type. I definitely recommend it that you go and download it. You can easily search for it on Halo Reach's file share search, I should say. All you need to do is to search by the tag Five Nights at Freddy's. You can search for both the game type and the map made by XX Ghost something. It's going to be the only one there, and it's pretty easy to find. So if you ever want to have like a really good time with your friends on custom game nights and you want to give them something unique and something pretty scary and something that would remind them of the Five Nights at Freddy's game, this is definitely the game type for you. So there's going to be some footage that's going to be shown about me and a couple of friends who played it together. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.